In 1980, Soviet weightlifter walked into the Olympics and lifted more than anyone thought humanly possible. No fancy gym, no protein shakes, no machines. Just 3 exercises done with brutal, relentless precision. What if I told you those same 3 exercises could completely replace every single workout you're doing right now? Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is about training smarter, not just harder. Today, we're going back in time, way back, to an era where Soviet athletes dominated every sport they touched: weightlifting, wrestling, gymnastics, track and field. And the West had no idea how they were doing it. When the Cold War ended and training manuals finally got translated, coaches in the US were stunned. The Soviets weren't doing 20 different exercises. They weren't spending 2 hours in the gym. They were doing less, but with a level of intensity and purpose that modern gym culture has completely forgotten. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 exercises at the core of Soviet physical conditioning and why. When done correctly, they can replace your entire workout routine. Stay with me because the third one is going to surprise you. Exercise 1. The kettlebell swing, the engine of the Soviet body before the kettlebell became a trendy gym accessory. It was a Soviet military staple. Russian soldiers were required to pass kettlebell tests as part of their fitness evaluations. The Soviets called it girevoy sport, kettlebell sport, and they treated it with the same seriousness as Olympic weightlifting. So what makes the kettlebell swing so powerful? Here's the thing most people miss. The swing is not a squat. It's a hip hinge. When done correctly, a single set of kettlebell swings activates your glutes, hamstrings, lower back, core, shoulders, and even your cardiovascular system all at once. Soviet coaches used it as the foundation of conditioning because it builds what they called functional explosive power, the kind of strength that transfers to real life, real sport, real combat. Here's how to do it right. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. The kettlebell is on the floor about a foot in front of you. Hinge at the hips, not the knees, and grip the bell with both hands. Drive your hips forward explosively, letting the bell float up to chest height. Then hike it back like a football snap. Repeat. That's it. But the subtlety is everything. Soviet strength coach Pavel Tsatsouline, who later brought this method to the West, described the swing as the Tsar of exercises. The Soviet prescription: 10 sets of 10 reps, 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. Done consistently, this single movement will build your posterior chain, improve your posture, torch fat, and condition your heart better than most cardio routines. No machine in a gym can replicate it. Nothing comes close. Exercise 2. The pistol squat, the one-leg test of true strength. Now here's where it gets interesting. While Americans were loading barbells with 400 pounds and blowing out their knees, Soviet coaches were obsessed with body weight mastery. Their belief was simple: if you can't control your own body, you have no business adding external weight. Enter the pistol squat. One leg, full depth, no support. This is not just a party trick. This is one of the most demanding lower body movements ever designed. A single pistol squat requires strength in your quads, hamstrings, glutes, and hip flexors, but it also demands balance, ankle mobility, and complete neuromuscular control. You cannot fake it. You cannot cheat it. Either you do it or you don't. Soviet gymnasts and wrestlers were required to perform multiple reps with ease before any external loading was even considered. Why does this matter for you? Most people have significant strength imbalances between their left and right leg, and they don't even know it. That imbalance leads to knee pain, hip dysfunction, and lower back problems. The pistol squat exposes those weaknesses and corrects them at the same time. How to work up to it? Start with a box pistol squat. Lower yourself onto a chair or bench with one leg extended. As you get stronger, lower the surface. Eventually, you won't need it at all. The Soviet prescription: 3 to 5 sets of 3 to 5 reps per leg, 3 times a week. When you can do 10 clean pistol squats per leg, Your legs are genuinely strong, stronger than most people who squat twice their body weight on a barbell, because you've built that strength with complete stability and control. Exercise 3. The dead hang scapular pull, the secret weapon they never talked about. I told you the third one would surprise you. This isn't a heavy lift. It doesn't look impressive. Most people walk right past the pull-up bar without a second thought. But Soviet coaches considered grip strength and shoulder health to be the root of all upper body power. Their athletes spent enormous time simply hanging and then learning to move from that hang with perfect scapular control. Here's the exercise. Hang from a bar with a dead hang, completely relaxed, arms fully extended. Then, without bending your elbows, depress your shoulder blades downward. You'll feel your body rise slightly. That's your scapulae doing the work. This is called the scapular pull-up. It's the foundation of every vertical pulling movement, pull-ups, muscle-ups, climbing, rowing, everything. Why did the Soviets care so much about this? Because shoulder injuries were the enemy of performance. A strong, mobile, scapular-controlled shoulder girdle is almost injury-proof, and it's the base from which all real pulling power comes. The dead hang alone, just hanging for time, decompresses the spine, builds grip endurance, and stretches muscles that modern sitting life destroys. The Soviet prescription: 3 sets of 30 to 60-second dead hangs, followed by 3 sets of 10 scapular pulls. Done 3 to 4 times a week. Build up 2 weighted dead hangs and you'll develop a grip and upper back that most gym goers will never achieve, regardless of how many lot pull-down machines they use. How to put it all together. So here's what a full week of Soviet-style minimalist training looks like. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Kettlebell swings. 10 sets of 10 pistol squat progressions. 3 to 5 sets per leg dead hangs plus scapular pulls. 3 sets each Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Active recovery, walking, stretching, mobility work. Sunday, complete rest. That's your whole program. 3 exercises, 3 days, no confusion, no decision fatigue, no wasted movement. This is what the Soviets figured out decades ago. Volume and complexity are not the same thing. True strength comes from mastering a few movements completely, not from doing dozens of exercises poorly. The Soviets built some of the most capable athletes in history. Not with more, but with better. They stripped fitness down to its essentials and drilled those essentials until they were perfect. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need a gym membership, a trainer, or any expensive equipment. A single kettlebell and a pull-up bar will take you further than most people ever go. If you made it this far, you're exactly the kind of person this channel is built for. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 3 exercises are you going to start with. And if you want to go deeper into old-school training methods that actually work. I've put together a full breakdown in the next video. The link is right here. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Train with purpose.